To some developing news now out of the Middle East, where the Israeli co-director of the Academy Award-winning documentary No Other Land says one of his Palestinian co-directors has been, in his words, lynched. In a post in just the last hour, Yuval Abraham says his co-director, Hamdan Ballal, was beaten and was hurt in his head and his stomach. He also says soldiers got onto the ambulance he called, and there's been no sign of Ballal since. Our team is out to the Israeli Defense Forces for comment on those allegations. I want to show you Ballal here at the Oscars. There he is holding it. He's got the all-black suit on. We've talked a lot about this documentary on the show, No Other Land. It's this co-production between Israeli and Palestinian filmmakers looking at illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank. But even with this huge Oscar win, it's struggling to get any distributor to pick it up in the United States. I want to get to Matt Bradley, who is following these late-breaking developments for us in Tel Aviv. Matt, what do we know?
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation that has really happened just the past couple of hours. And what we're seeing now is kind of a typical situation from what we've been seeing in the past from Mustafa Yatta, which is the scene of that documentary that won that Oscar. And as you mentioned, wasn't getting any pickup in the United States. And this was, you know, a scene that could have been cut from the documentary itself. We saw... according to the people who were there and according to other filmmakers who were there and according to Jewish American activists who witnessed the scene itself, it turns out that Hamdan Ballal, who was one of the co-directors, the Palestinian co-director, who is a resident of Mustafa Yatta, he was saying that he was attacked by settlers who were in the vicinity. They were masked. They were attacking not just him, but also the activists who were with him. These activists were from the Center for Jewish Nonviolence. Again, there were about half a dozen Jewish American activists who were recording this. They said, and Yuval Abraham, who is the co-director along with Hamdan Ballal, said that he had injuries to his head and his stomach. He was bleeding, and that he was put in an ambulance, and that Israeli soldiers, and we don't know if they were actually Israeli soldiers, there were people who were dressed as Israeli soldiers. And one of the things, Hallie, about that situation in that particular part of the West Bank, and actually in a lot of the West Bank, is that Israeli soldiers, or that settlers are deputized by Israeli soldiers, and they wear Israeli soldier uniforms, even though they are settlers. And I've been out there. They don't have markings. They don't have rankings on their epaulets, so you can't tell who they are. You can't tell what their ranks are. You can't tell what their names are or their numbers are. So in a way, they're able to do these deeds with impunity. They went into the ambulance where Hamdan Ballal was being held, where he was injured, and they came and they arrested him. And now these filmmakers and these activists don't really know